It's August the 4th, 2026. I am at Joel Pearl, thejoelpearl.com on Blue Sky, and it's time to get in the weeds. It is a tremendous Tuesday because it's me, and it's SP3. I get to borrow his bit. Sorry, pal, but we're here again, and as we are all week, and this is what I'm here for. This is what we do. How you doing, pal?
I am doing well. I'm doing fine. I had to sleep. I'm just like, I'll just get to it right off the bat, guys. You know, we do a lot of talking about professional wrestling. And through our talking about professional wrestling, we do a lot for these companies. AEW, WWE, TNA, you know, myself, I'm always talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling, trying to keep an eye out on the CMLLs of the world, the AAAs of the world, the ROH. Joel does a tremendous job of bringing attention to everything going on in TNA. So I was very disturbed by the fact that, you know, Joel off camera let me know where he was sitting at Redemption. And the fact that AEW did not want to acknowledge the contributions of In the Weeds to put attention on their company and not sit Joel in the front row, we're just going to be talking about WWE today because of that. So, proved you wrong.
Forget about the partnership. It is what it is. But as I've said on the air to you, SP3, hundreds of times, you have overextended yourself to every wrestling company on the planet.
I agree. I think you have done the same. So I think that we should be acknowledged by every of these companies. These companies should sit us in the front row and acknowledge us, put us on camera and smile or make whatever face the guy that was fired from TNA was doing at SummerSlam. Whatever we want to do, they should put us in the front row.
Has any other wrestling company ever put it on the front row and identified us?
No other wrestling company has done that.
Should they have?
Yes, they had. They should have.
Just an incredible exchange. Bully and David LaGreca. And again, everyone's going to say it, and I'm going to say it too. I love Dave. I think David LaGreca is a fantastic broadcaster. I think he's a fun, entertaining radio personality. And in radio like in the radio world, you need those. Those are what make the world go round, and he's really good at this. I do appreciate him. He's someone who reached out to me when Bully and Tommy were doing their little busted open TNA thing, and I buried it to a certain degree. But then David and I talked, and it was a very nice chat. And I've always respected him. Gave me his phone number, said reach out anytime. Like he's a nice dude. I know he's probably, you know, trying to maintain this balance as well, because to him, he's passionate about wrestling. He's also, you know, he's around the guys he's around, and they're all very, very WWE guys. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's where they came from, blah, blah, blah. Bully wants to be a rabble rouser. He wants to do what he does, whatever. I feel bad for interactions like this. I feel bad for Dave, but I don't feel bad for Dave's wallet. I feel bad for Dave, like having to deal with the backlash that comes from people who can be really shitty, because I don't get it to the same degree that David does. I don't get to the same degree that even SP3 does, because I don't have the same following, and I'm also not as publicly outspoken on socials about it. You know, I know SP3, you're very proud about your opinions and you stand by them, and you know, and listen, 99.9% of the time you're right, but you're not afraid to fight back. Come on, let's get to it. But like with Dave, I really wish that I really wish that they wouldn't do shit like this. And they told the story about Nick Khan on the, you know, we talked about this yesterday, how they talked about their interaction with Nick Khan, and Nick Khan was like, don't change anything. You guys are doing great. Don't change your coverage. And it's like, but they inherently have changed their coverage because they're now working under a WWE radio umbrella. And that, again, that's fine. That's the edict. And as Jeremy has said, as SP3 has said, as I have said, if you just stuck with, hey man, we're going to be changing a little bit in our direction and our coverage, nobody would have given you this backlash. You would have had people be like, man, that sucks. I really like when you talk about company XYZ, but I understand the circumstances. To come out and yell, nothing's changing, you're going to get the same rants. And it's like, you put yourself under the microscope for that. You knew that it was immediately going to be a problem. And then when you do shit like this, where Bully's trying to, you know, be a shit disturber, and he's gonna be like, oh, I'm just doing it because it gets clicks and it gets likes. And I'm sure SiriusXM loves that. The interaction's there, the money's there, so they can pay them. But it looks so silly. It looks so stupid. And I feel bad because, people shot right back at Dave, and rightfully so. They were like, you ever been seated front row, and immediately people were pulling out snapshots from AEW Full Gear a few years ago, or was it Double or Nothing? One of the shows in Jersey.
Full Gear.
Yeah, so it's Full Gear, and they're immediately pulling out shots where Dave is sitting, on the floor, first or second row, and he's got a fantastic seat. Just because they're not calling you busted opens in the house, like, who could possibly care? That's why when I go to an event, I introduce myself in a media capacity as Fightful and In the Weeds, because those are the two monikers that matter to me. Just incredible stuff. I got to pick up my pen.
But yeah, I wanted to start off the show with that because I think that was the most hilarious exchange that I heard in the last 24 hours. So, and I love the fact that Joel is on point with me. We are seamic because we did not prepare that bit whatsoever, and we just went with it.
I knew it immediately. I was like, eventually in this episode, we were going to do this. I did not expect you to do it right away, but I very much appreciate it.
Gotta love it.
I wonder how ESPN felt when the Derby thing dropped and AEW was like in love with Andreas Hale. That was a great day. That was a big let me just stick that needle a little bit deeper so you see how great Andreas is at doing his job, you dicks.
Like ESPN, not only that, but they remember before that it was the ESPN giving them the awards for the end of year award. This is your outlet, yet we're getting awards for it. Hell yeah, we're gonna promote it. We're gonna promote that and Sports Illustrated.
Just incredible work. I love it here, man.
This is the best business to discuss. I'm sorry, there's always something going on.
And it's funny because some days you're just like, I don't want to deal with this shit right now, man. Like, there's better stuff to do. And then some days you're just like, hell yeah, let's get into this shit. So I get it. I really do. But yeah, I hope everyone out there is having fun with us because it's another day. It's Tuesday, so we're going to talk about Raw, of course, because Monday Night Raw was last night. I've got a couple stories to tell from my last night because I was up late dealing with stuff, and we'll talk about it. The Continental Cup, they released not only the field but the matches, the rules, the road to All In for Jon Moxley, because let's face it, it's going to be him versus one of the other participants in that thing, most likely. And we got a little bit of produce stuff because produce was there. And sorry, folks, you can never run away from it, but there is TNA news today as well, and that's just the way it is.
We talked about TNA way too long yesterday.
I know. I mean, we opened it up just to have the chat, and then they decided. Well, not they. Two of their talent decided, "Fuck this, I'm out of here." Not because of
screw you guys. I'm going
home, and it's just it. So okay, let's start with last night because it actually works pretty seamlessly. Last night, I was at the Royal Theatre in Toronto. I was invited by Vice TV and by Dark Side of the Ring to go and attend the Q&A/airing they were doing of the Dark Side episode with Samoa Joe and Necro Butcher. I rewatched the episode the night before, so I guess it was Sunday, just to kind of get my notes together. And so here was what happened. I got the invite. I said yes. I had invited Tim, actually, people who know Tim and Joel. Nice. I invited Tim if he wanted to go. And originally, the person from Vice had invited me saying it was Sunday. And so I was running with Sunday. And then after a few emails, they're like, oh, shit, it's actually Monday, which was a holiday Monday here, by the way. So that was even kind of stranger. It's a civic holiday here, which is like the least of the holidays because stuff is still open, but the government and other people get the day off. Anyway, all this to say, she corrected herself. So Tim couldn't go on the Sunday. So I asked him like, hey, it's actually Monday. And he almost was able to, but he didn't. So we'll have to do it another time. Anyway, what happened was they invited me to go just to attend and, give me a ticket and go there. And I said yes. And then after a couple of exchanges, I was like, hey, I would be remiss if I didn't ask if I could interview Joe and Stu. And they were like, totally not expecting them to say yes. I thought they'd be like, no, they don't have time. They're in and out. And all of a sudden they were like, oh yeah, we can make that happen. Like, let me check their schedules. And they made it happen. And I was I was over the moon. I was shocked. And then I kept thinking to myself, the old saying, closed mouths don't get fed. And I was like, yeah, good on me. I don't always take, that lap for myself, but I'll say it like, I'm glad I asked. So, I was given the interview. We did it yesterday before the event started. And part of this, why this will kind of cross into the TNA talk in a minute, was actually because John Pollock of Post Wrestling was moderating the Q&A. and John and I had a few minutes to catch up and chat because people know that I'm very fond of John and his work at Post Wrestling, and obviously Brandon Thurston with WrestleNomics because they do work together on a show as well. So John and I were just catching up and asking each other, are you going to this show? Are you going to that show? Because normally we cross paths at Canadian shows that are close by. And he told me that his plan is to be at All In, which is great. Glad that he's doing that. Not super jealous at all that he gets to go over to London and enjoy the time there, but
hopefully I get to meet him.
I think, listen, he's a hard guy to miss. He's tall, bald head. You can't miss his face. And also, if he's seated with media, you'll know who he is. Anyway, so John and I were just catching up and having a nice chat. And he asked me, "Are you going to the TNA shows in Brampton?" And I just kind of laughed. And I said, "Oh, actually, I just gave up covering TNA." And he's just like, "Oh, I didn't know that." I was like, "Yeah, I kind of didn't make a big stink out of it." And we were just kind of talking back and forth about dealing and covering and what TNA is or isn't, and we just kind of agreed to the same thing. It's like they've had better days, they've dealt better hands with each other and the media, and it's just not necessarily the best company to cover right now, creatively, and just that's it, creatively and other reasons. But so we just kind of left it at that. I don't know if he's going to go to the Brampton show. I told him I'm probably not going because I have no reason to at this point. And also, they're doing a live show on the Thursday. That was the thing that I told him. I was like, they're doing live on Thursday, which means we have to be there for at least until 11 p.m. And I do not want to do that. Not for a live show. No. Especially when I've been conditioned to watch from 8 to 10 most weeks because Sportsnet gets it an hour earlier. I'm fine with that. Live shows, not interested. Anyway, so John did a great job moderating the Q&A panel with Joe, and Stu Stone is one of the producers, and Evan Husney was there as well, one of the creators of Darkside, who I didn't expect, because with that interview, it was originally Stu and Joe, and then all of a sudden Evan comes in and he's like, hey, can I, you mind if I hop in? I was like, let's do this. Absolutely. I did not prepare for Evan, but we had a really nice chat. If you go over to Joel Pearl Wrestling, it's Joel Pearl Wrestling. Wow. Joel Pearl Working.
JP Dub.
That'll definitely make me think wrestling. If you go to Joel Pearl Working on YouTube, you'll find the interview there. It's also collaborated with this channel with Fightful Overbooked, so you can find it on both. If you check the collab section on either channel, you'll find it. But I had a really good chat. We did about 15-16 minutes, and as I said, I would with the producers from Vice, and it was a good chat. So if you have a chance, go check it out. Tell your friends about it, share it, tell them, because me doing it is one thing, y'all doing it is another. So I appreciate the love I've gotten on it so far. It's been really nice. Mikey V is asking, am I going to the Cope MLP show? Imagine if you could swing that interview. So I would like to. That's in October. I don't see a reason why I wouldn't, because it's not far from me. The Cope MLP interview, I don't think it's as out of the realm of possibility as I think it could be, but also I'm not going to put all my eggs into that basket. So I know AEW is really cool with me these days, which is nice. So I could reach out, and also I know the people who are doing MLP stuff. Actually, it's Steve Argentaro, who's done work, who's been on this show before, talking about when Drake was at Elimination Chamber. That was one of his scoops because he was working on the riser and all that. So Steve and I have a really nice rapport. We get along great. So if I ask Steve about the MLP show, I'd love to be there, but an MLP Cope interview, I would relish in the idea to do it. Knock it off of my bucket list. So that was Monday, and then I had to come home and edit it and then watch Raw.
Fun,
right?
That sounds like fun. Hey, Raw wasn't that bad.
It wasn't terrible. You're right.
It wasn't terrible. I think that people need to be softer to Monday Night Raw. It wasn't as bad as SummerSlam.
Are you saying that people need to stop criticizing the product?
You just be a fan. Stop being the critic, guys. Nah, I would never say that, honestly, unless I'm doing it in Triple H voice. But Raw wasn't that bad. I was only able to watch the opening match of the Produce show because I have, a life outside of wrestling. So I watched that this morning, the Tiger Mask ceremony that they had for his retirement match. That was nice. So I've watched some decent to good wrestling over the last 24 hours.
You got to see a bunch of surprises at that Produce show. Okada was there. Rocky Romero was his show.
Well, it's his show, yeah.
Jeff Cobb was there.
Yes,
you must have been very excited for JC Mateo.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jeff Corn on the Cob, absolutely. Matanza Cueto, absolutely. I didn't get that far. I'm gonna finish watching it later on. I've heard everybody kind of raving about the show, so I definitely want to check it out for myself. So yeah, I watched the first matchup. I'll finish it later on today. What did you see from the produce show?
I've seen bits and pieces of it so far, mostly on socials because I need to go back and actually watch it. But from what I've seen, yeah, I saw the Chase U Okada meme went out there because, of course, it did. Because Andre, or what does he call himself now? Andre Chance. He put out the Okada in the Chase U sweater. It's there. We're still doing it, baby. Okada U, Okada Chase U. It's still out there. But no, I saw little bits and pieces. Like I said, I saw Okada was there. I saw the respect that he gave to Tiger Mask. I saw Rocky. I saw most of the stuff from Justin Wang, who was there. Shout out to him. He also makes a verbal cameo in the interview that I did. We talked about it because he's part of the whole lore behind Joe and Necro. So yeah, they gave him a shot. They gave him a shout out. So he's great. But yeah, just kind of bits and pieces. I'm looking forward to watching the whole thing. But heard it was a lot of fun. Heard it was a great event. And Produce is putting on a very special kind of wrestling for its fans. It's not going to relate to everyone, and that's okay. But in terms of like getting great wrestlers and getting very popular wrestlers and getting them all together to work hard on an event, that's great. And they're giving reason for those wrestlers to want to promote it because they've incentivized it. Beyond just giving them a card, there are ways to get them more money based on their draw and their capability to promote. So love that stuff. Yeah, keep doing that stuff. Produce crowd sing Mystico's theme. Okay, let's go.
There we go. They know Spanish.
Yeah.
Well, Red Hook has a lot of Spanish people. I was gonna ask you about going to that show, but then I had other stuff that I had to do yesterday, so I wasn't able to.
Nah, you could have skipped it. Skipped your real life stuff and gone to the fake wrestling stuff.
Skip that for this. Yeah. Hey, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of good wrestling this week. You know, you got AEW Grand Slam Mexico. The whole AEW in Mexico week starts tonight on the CMLL versus AEW show. Got Kyle Fletcher and Mascara Dorada in the main event. Then Thursday, you got your favorite TNA Impact. How are you going to watch TNA Impact now that you're not covering it?
I don't know. I might have it on in the background only because we talk about everything on the show.
We do.
I'm not going to do a post show. I might just cover it on socials. I already know what happens. I do. Even when I was covering TNA, I read the spoilers before everything else, and I just get as much kind of information as I can going into my post shows and going into the events. So there's a good chance, because I'm a completionist, much like you are in a lot of ways. I will probably watch it. If not odds and sods, I'll speed run it and have some talking points from it. But I know the matches. I know who wins. I know who loses. And I know what some of the stipulations are. And I know what I just don't know what the backstagers are. That's usually what is different from an airing of TNA versus reading the results.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, but I like the fact that you're a completionist like me. I can either watch the whole the entirety of a series, or I'll watch one episode and I can't watch it again until I'm ready to complete it.
I
like
understand.
Breaking Bad, I watched one episode like 10 years ago and then I haven't gone back to it.
I can't do that. That's my problem. So Better Call Saul is the only one that I have that problem with. I have one season left and it's the last one. I've watched everything else, but now I feel like if I'm going to watch the final season of Better Call Saul, guess what? I have to start way from the beginning just to catch myself.
Yes. And remind myself. You have to. You have to do that.
Now you're just piling on the amount of time you need to spend on this, and I only have so many hours in the week. Even if I was like, and that's the other thing. Some people catch up or they watch stuff if they're commuting to work. They're not driving. They're taking transit, and when that happens, I get it. I can't do that on my phone, because I just feel I can't be immersed in that. It doesn't really work for me, brother. So I usually end up just staring out the window, listening to podcasts, and it's mostly just aimless talking at 2.4 speed and smart skip.
Do you even understand what they're saying?
Absolutely. You build up. You don't just start at 2.4. You build. Yeah. Going back to Pollock and Thurston, that was the one show that I had to really build a tolerance to their cadence and what they were talking about to be able to get to 2.4. But when I started, I was like, I can't do 1.5. That's the best I can do. Yeah, I just Now I'm 2.4 smart skip. It's great. If I try to listen to Wade Keller at 1.1 speed, game over, man. Again, I can't. I talk too fast for myself. I get it. So sometimes I get in my own way, and as a result, yeah, listen, 2.4 for me can sound a little jarring, but I'm used to it by now.
Makes sense.
That's the way to do it. Listen to us at 2.4 speed while you give us a thumbs up, because if you haven't already, here's some fireworks. And while you're at it, you can go ahead and subscribe to this channel. And like I said, subscribe to Joel Pearl Working. That's where you can find my Samoa Joe interview. Stu Stone and Evan Husney are there. You might not know this. You probably don't. Stu Stone was the voice of Ralphie on the Magic School Bus. He was also on the Care Bears. He was also a voice on, oh my God, for Canadians, this is a deep cut, the Raccoons, which was a favorite of mine. It was like a bunch of raccoons who were trying to save the forest that they lived in from an evil aardvark named Cyril Sneer. It was like an environmental awareness show. And the raccoons were nice. And he was on the show. He was one of the voices. Stu's done a ton of shit. He used to work for Championship Wrestling for Hollywood. I wanted to do a separate one with him where I'm just like him and Stu and I want to do a sit down with him. He's got a hell of a weird and a crazy career, but he's been doing Dark Side for the last 4 seasons, I think. But go check that out. And of course, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to Joel Pearl Working, leave that thumbs up. And of course, you can get a super chat. Any amount, get your question or your statement read on the air. Volop saying, TK's such a fan of me. He's booking Volop blind bar matches. Oh, wait, it says blind draw. Either way, I think I may as well have booked this. You want to get into the Continental Cup, or do you want to talk about?
Yes, first? I watched the Cup special this morning.
I watched it last night right after Raw, and it was good. It was
simple. It was simple. It was to the point. I wish that we would have, it was a blind drawing or a random drawing. I wish that if you were going to go in that direction, then I wish we could have had the actual drawing. But I know that this is not an actual blind drawing. But I would just like the imagination of just feeling like it is an actual blind drawing by seeing you draw names from that Jaguars helmet.
No, too bad. All you get is the idea that he did it.
The idea.
The way the Continental Challenge Cup works, the rules are very simple, apparently. No outside interference and no time limits. So that's the difference between the C2 and the Continental Cup is the no time limits part. So you can look forward to that. 60-minute Continental Challenge matches once in a while. 16 wrestlers compete in 8 supposedly blind draw matches. It's wrestling. Listen, I got it. It's wrestling. We're just gonna let go. 8 winners move on to compete in 4 blind draw matches, which I'm sure have already been drawn. The 4 winners then move on to the semis that are going to be in Glasgow on August 26th. I'm guessing they're going to do 1 match on Collision and 1 match on Dynamite. Okay. I think they're taping both, and if you want to draw, you got to get both of them in there. Basically, the Moxley match will be in Glasgow, and the Eddie Kingston and or Jay White match will be in. On Collision. Okay. I've already given up who my 2 people might be.
Yeah, they just gave up. You think it's going to be Eddie Kingston, which I'm very confused by, and I'm the biggest Eddie Kingston fan ever. But they have given us clear indication that he is not the long-term plan.
Wow, how dare you? Listen, he was the first ever AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Ring of Honor Triple Crown champion, the new American
first ever winner of the Continental Classic.
That's right. So that's why Eddie Kingston deserves it. Listen, we'll get to the end of this afterward. The Cup final takes place at Wembley at All In on August 30th. The winner will receive the Continental Cup and will be the new Continental champion. So once again, we do not know how this works in terms of Moxley's Continental Championship. He's still the champion, but if he gets knocked out, then I guess we're just going to say we're going to crown a new champion, and that's it.
Yeah, basically, right. The winner gets the Continental Club, the AEW Continental Championship, and it gets a spot in the Continental Classic.
Right, and the spot in the Continental Classic because you are the champion. That would make sense.
Well, I took it as even if they lose the title, they earn their spot in the Continental Classic.
Fair. Okay. That's okay. You may very well be right. And I may have missed that. The participants, I had it and then I just lost it. Come on. Where are you? All my participants are gone. Anyway, John Moxley, Kyle O'Reilly, Roddy Strong, Orange Cassidy, Nigel McGuinness, Katsuyori Shibata, David Finlay, Ace Austin, Jay White, Matt Seidel, Jack Perry, Jake Doyle, Brian Cage, Hechicero, Claudio Castagnoli, and the winner, Eddie Kingston.
And do you have the first round matches?
I do have the first round matches. So this Saturday on Collision, it'll be Orange Cassidy and Matt Sydal, Claudio and Ace Austin, and Jake Doyle and Eddie Kingston. And where Eddie
Kingston's definitely losing.
Stop it. Eddie's going all
losing. I want him to win. I want him to win. Trust me. New York, stand up. I always want Eddie Kingston to win. Damn, man. That's a bad draw for the first round because they have been pushing Jake Doyle. They've been nudging Jake Doyle.
No, he lost.
But they've been nudging him.
He lost this past week on Dynamite, so clearly it's okay. He can lose again.
He beat Speedball Mike Bailey.
Speedball beat Jake Doyle.
What are we talking about? He's in a tag team matchup.
Yeah,
but he beat him in a singles match.
Yeah, but he ate the pin.
Jake Doyle beat him one-on-one.
That doesn't have to stand like that. So those are the Saturday matches. On Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. So there are no Continental Cup matches this Wednesday on the Grand Slam Mexico show. That show is set. So next Wednesday at the tapings in Vegas, I believe they're doing Jay White and David Finlay, Jack Perry and Moxley, and then they're taping Collision also in Vegas. So they'll be taping Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, Brian Cage and Hechicero, and Shibata and Nigel McGuinness, which that's a match that everyone's looking forward to.
Yeah.
Bunch of really fun matches in the first round, and you got to wait about a week to get to them, but it's going to be an interesting Continental Cup tournament. I don't know what you want to call it, the Challenge Cup. It's again so many tournaments, but this is how they want to book someone to All In. I'm not going to hate it. It's just going to happen, and I'm going to watch the matches, and they'll be fun. Hopefully they tell some stories.
Yeah, you can build some other stories, build some other feuds. I find it very interesting, the two matches that they got next week on Dynamite, because Jack Perry, based on, the whole push that he got or the vignette that he got when he re-signed with the company, he would be someone that I would consider a favorite to go far in the tournament, but he's facing Jon Moxley in the first round, so he's definitely losing. And then Jay White versus David Finlay in the first round, I was like, damn, all right. So this is one of two things. Either you're doing this match now where Jay White beats Finlay and then Finlay cost him later on in the tournament, and then they can do a stipulation match at the pay-per-view, or you're doing this now because Jay White is going to the finals, or you're doing this now because they lost their spot on the All-In card because the double chain match wasn't good. It's one of those three options to me.
Gonna blow this thing off right away. just get it over with. Rip off the Band-Aid and make one of them the new leader of the Bullet Club. There is no Bullet Club. It's just for these guys.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to, I think that if Jon Moxley wins this whole tournament, then it's fucking useless.
Well, it's Jon Moxley, so get ready to say it's
I know. I'm getting ready to come out of All In and say, well, that was fucking useless.
I would like for them to play it. How do you tell the potential story of Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley if Jon Moxley is coming off of a loss at All In? This is kind of the return to the conversation. What if Moxley gets knocked out of the round of 16? Like, what if he does not make it to the finals? I'm not saying he loses the first round, but what if he does make it deep enough and then he doesn't win, but then he ends up getting himself into a singles match that is a little bit higher profile on the All In card instead? What if that's the play? What if that's how you tell the story?
If he gets bumped from the Continental Club, he's going to be in the Casino Gauntlet and he's going to win.
There you go. There's a complete different way to do it. And that's why, for people who are saying we know Mox is going to win, I understand that sentiment. Historically, yes, Moxley tends to win, although he lost in the tag match, but in a singles competition, he has not lost.
He has not lost in 2026.
Yeah. So and they've started to really push that story. So do you make this a big deal for someone in the Continental Cup? Do you make this a big deal for the potential of Will Ospreay being the first to beat him with the title? Like, what's a bigger story, beating Mox or Mox's way to the world title? What works?
Yeah, it depends on what direction that you want to go in, but I do think that it does make sense if Jay White is the one who faces him in the finals because they have history together from before Jay got injured, plus the Dogs association with the Death Riders and their current feud with the Bang Bang Gang. It makes sense for Jay White to be that guy, and then on the cup special that they did, they emphasized Jay White being in this tournament and said that he's looking to win his first singles title in AEW, which is crazy to say. Because like Jay White, the fact that he's been here for 3 years, and yes, he was out for a year and change. He's had other injuries during his time in the company, but we shouldn't be 3 years in with Jay White never winning a singles title.
Yeah. Eddie Kingston. There's your final answer. Eddie should be winning.
I knew you were gonna say.
Well, why wouldn't you want Eddie Kingston to go all the way? Listen, I'm hoping to talk to Eddie Kingston and Ortiz next Friday. Not this Friday, next Friday, because they'll be at C4 fighting back in Ottawa. So come on. We got to get Eddie hyped up. We got to get Eddie ready for the conversation I'm going to have, wherein I tell him, are you going to win the Continental Cup, and cut a promo on Jon Moxley and call him a big old piece of shit? Come on. Trying to do this for my views and likes and clicks.
Yeah.
None of this. Am I going to sit in the front row at All In and be acknowledged?
Acknowledge me.
The one is we're number one and better than Busted Open. People are pointing on the chat that Mox has never won it All In.
Good.
Keep it up.
like keep it going. More and more and more. Make them lose even more.
But again, if Jon Moxley doesn't win at All In again, how do you get to Ospreay and Mox other than Moxley gets a plastic bag at the end of the night and tries to kill Will Ospreay with the title in his hands?
I'm sorry. Jon Moxley has held the Continental Championship for the past 8 months. Moxley,
this losing up thing.
Jon Moxley has been undefeated for the past 8 months. Jon Moxley has beaten Will Ospreay. He's the last guy to have a pinfall victory over Will Ospreay in AEW. So a loss at the end of a tournament after he has already kind of etched his name as a contender for a championship. Jon Moxley, he can lose at All In by like a roll up or something to Jay White, lose the Continental Championship, and then the Death Riders jump Will Ospreay on the Dynamite after All In, and he's already the title contender for All Out. Jon Moxley, he's the type of guy that I think that he could still be a title contender even if he lost the Continental Championship at All In.
I still don't like the losers move up story. I've never liked it.
This has been a thing since like forever.
I know. It doesn't mean I have to like it.
You want to know who's one of the greatest WWF champions of the 90s? It was Bret Hart.
And he lost.
Bret Hart first won the WWF championship from Ric Flair in October of 1992. What was his previous big matchup before that championship matchup? Losing to British Bulldog in the main event of Wembley Stadium. You see how I brought it all back around and talk about Wembley Stadium again? I'm a genius and a wrestling historian for a reason here, folks.
So who's
this has been going on since the beginning of time. There's been multiple world champions that have won a world title after they lost a secondary title that they had created a legacy for. Kenny Omega lost the IWGP United States Championship 2 months before he won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. What are we talking about? I can name various examples throughout history. Jon Moxley losing the Continental Championship and then facing Will Ospreay for the AEW World Championship is not anything new. It's not anything bad. It's not anything like, come on, what are we talking about?
Well, hey, man, when you lose, you should lose. And then you have to build your way back up. Not to the world title immediately, though. Unless you're going to choke him out with a plastic bag.
Yep. Go choke out Will Ospreay. No, they're gonna threaten to choke out Alex Windsor with a plastic bag. Unless Will, it's gonna be Marina. Marina's gonna have the plastic bag, but it's gonna be they're gonna hold her and they're gonna say, "Will, give him a title shot at All Out, or we're suffocating your wife."
This sucks. I hate it. Let's do it.
Or you know what? I'm gonna work with Zeno Hour here. You have Moxley lose the Continental Cup at the beginning of the show. Middle of the show, he wins the Casino Gauntlet. He pulls a Christian Cage.
Oh, 2-match Mox, huh? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Christian Cage did the same thing in 24. Lost the AEW World Trios Championships in a ladder match to open the show, and then won the Casino Gauntlet later on in the show.
Joel, we hear you, but pro wrestling doesn't always do that, especially AEW. They allow title shots because we need a match on Collision.
This is true.
I get it. I watched the Dynamite after Redemption too. I know that like half of the field in that ladder match got title shots out of it. I get it. I understand. Doesn't mean I like it. Amazing stuff. There was another comment that I popped up on the stream while you were talking, just for shits and giggles. Yes, Moxley beats Jack Perry and then loses Eddie Kingston in the second round. There it is.
All right, so we got Queen, our good friend Auntie Collins in the chat says there's so many people in and around the AEW main title picture that I don't know what's happening after Will. We're 35 minutes, 50 seconds into this podcast. I'm about to spoil the whole entire AEW main title picture for the rest of the year. Are y'all ready?
Hold on. This segment brought to you by the AEW Podcast Network. Soon to be.
It's gonna go. Will beats Kenny at all in. Will's gonna drop the title to MJF. Will's gonna win the title back from MJF. Will's gonna drop the title to Kyle Fletcher at the Stadium Show WrestleMania weekend. You're welcome,
Fletcher.
You're welcome. So go make some money. Make some money on SP3.
You gotta stop listening to Don Callis. You gotta stop talking.
Me and Don, we've been having some conversations, man. After I got my clearance, man, it's been good money. It's been good money. I've been happy with my Don Callis family right now.
Your Don Callis monies. Your Don Callis bucks.
Don Callis bucks.
Don Callis bucks. Say his full name. Don Callis Kyle Fletcher Omega.
Yeah. And I want to also let y'all know, I love all of y'all. And I understand people are pushing back against what I just said. I'm not saying this because I want this to happen. That's all I will say.
That's right. He's saying this because he's the mouth of Don Callis implanted into a New Yorker.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying this because I want this to happen. I'm not saying this because I'm speculating this is going to happen. I'm saying this for another reason.
Okay. Listen, I'm just saying, I'm going to say, okay, mark his words. It's August 4th and come back and revisit this. Remember, it is the Braun Breaker and
I don't need this to happen. Honestly, I would love for Will to win at Wembley and hold the title for a year. Now, I was answering in the chat, Ryan Sullivan saying he's saying it because he needs this to happen. No, I would honestly like Will Ospreay to win the title at Wembley and hold the title at least until if they're going to do a stadium show WrestleMania weekend. But I'm not saying it for that reason.
All right, we're gonna say we're gonna see what happens. Hopefully, this goes according to plan, and we'll see. We'll see what SP3's situation is when we get to next April. I guess
we'll see. No, y'all will know I'm right when MJF beats Ospreay for the title. Then you're gonna be everybody's gonna come on in the ring the next day like, holy shit.
Fair. You will be on the show that day, whether you want to or not. And you're gonna just source burn everybody. That's gonna be the plan. People are gonna start aggregating you. That's right. This podcast network, you just got us kicked off of it. So this segment was no longer brought to you by the AEW Podcast Network. Please never mention us again in this segment.
We're fired.
Gotta get hired first, pal. We got to be front row at the next big event. Come on, Tony, fly us all in. How much are tickets today? Shall we take a look?
Let's see.
I have to get my mother a ticket to.
We're at 36. We're at 36,000 last time I saw.
36. Okay, that's good. Good numbers. How much are the flights? Let's take a look at the flights. Saturday to Monday, because again, I am an absolute maniac. Right now, the cheapest I'm seeing is 1,017. So they are climbing. Climbing again. Is it still a 20-hour flight to do the cheapest flight? Let's see. Oh, okay. Okay, there's a 10-hour flight with a one stop.
Okay.
Which one's YHZ? Anyway, it doesn't matter. YHZ is a Canadian. Is that Halifax?
Mm.
Why would I stop in Halifax? Yeah, it's Halifax just to get on a bigger bird. Okay, so Toronto to Halifax, Halifax to London. And then on the way back, non-stop, London, Gatwick to Toronto. There you go. If you got $1,000, you can send it to me and I will go to AEW All In. Apparently that's low.
That's low?
Apparently that's low. According to Google Flights, that is low for economy. Because let's face it, I just bring my backpack with my usual backpack, my travel backpack, that every time I come back, I say to myself, this is stupid. I'm too old for this shit. I'll do it again. Actually, carry on, because it's international, it's included with my flight. So it's not basic. So I can do this. Can you start a fundraiser? You can. I don't think it's going to be great. Sounds like money wasted if you ask me. What can potato? If you got $1,000 burning in your pocket, you can waste it on my ass.
There we go.
There you go.
There you have it.
That'd be way too much traveling, especially this close to when school starts for the kid. Whew, that'd be dumb.
Yeah.
It's the exact kind of dumb I would do.
I'm taking my flight a few days before All In back to the UK. So we'll see how that goes.
So the AEW Podcast Network doesn't pay us yet, is what you're asking.
Yeah, they don't pay us.
When the day comes, listen, I got a text from Jeremy that was like, he was asking me about something completely separate. I thought he was about to tell me like big news. And he was just like, I fucked up my dates. That was it. I thought he was about to be like, the AEW Podcast Network's coming. I was like, no, it's not.
he's like, got my hopes up there.
Yeah. Just do a 24-hour fundraiser stream for All In. That sounds terrible. Do we do those for charity? Because people will give to a charity, and I am not a charity.
Not a fundraiser, yeah.
Although I'm asking for your charity to send me to London for a cumulative 72 hours. I will fly out after the event, because what time did the All In presser finish last year?
I did not go
2 years ago. 2 years ago in London.
I think, but I'm gonna say like 12:30 UK time.
Oh, that's right, because it's still the evening. Fudge.
Mm-hmm.
Keep thinking it's 1 o'clock internationally everywhere at the time. Yeah, that's not happening. I'm not getting on that flight, so I'm leaving on the Monday if I am stupid enough. I'm pretty stupid. I'll do it. I just don't have $1,000 to burn on that shit.
Well, of course, if we're doing like radio during the AEW show, it would be me, Jeremy, and Joel. We'll do the 3-man booth. I would be playing the role of Excalibur. Joel would be Tony Schiavone.
What are you saying?
And then Jeremy would be either Taz or I can't say Brian because he would like that too much. Probably Taz. Yeah, probably Taz.
He gets to be Paul White.
Oh, that's even better.
Collision Cowboy. Paul White.
The Collider, Paul White.
Am I as stupid as a Hardys versus Dudley's match? No, because I need the money to do that stupid thing. Joel as Taz is something I wanted to say, but others are definitely calling me Tony. So
yeah, I think that you're definitely Tony.
I wear a jacket. I wear a suit better than Tony. Okay, like I dress better than Tony 99% of the time.
You would be like, that was fine.
Pretty much. Listen,
this is fine.
And I'd be in the ring introducing talent for the talent to then just talk without me needing to be in the ring. They'll just kick me out of the ring. That's pretty normal. I've seen how RJ City and I have had an interview. I just stand there with the microphone and he talks. I don't have to do anything. Maybe I am Tony Schiavone. Oh, that's really upsetting.
When you realize you're Tony Schiavone.
Very upsetting. Dalton Castle, by the way, has been announced for C4's Fighting Back. That's going to be in Ottawa. I will be there on Friday, August the 14th. He's going to take on Von Vertigo, who's been part of AEW programming for years whenever they come to Canada. So they're going to be fighting for the C4 Underground Championship. The other match that was announced was Alexia Nicole, who's the C4 Women's Champion. She's going to be facing Zoe Serrano, the former Zoe Stark, for the women's title. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a lot of content, a lot of fun conversations to be had. C4 does this event. This is their 15th year doing Fighting Back. And every proceed, 100% of it goes to the Canadian Cancer Society. And again, something that's very near and dear to my heart. So if you can make it and you're in the Ottawa area, go check it out. Otherwise, it'll be on my AEW eventually, usually within a week or two. They're up. So check that out. Fighting Back's a very special event, and I hope that y'all have a chance to check it out when it drops.
Boom.
What's What's next? The MLW tidbit before we, I guess, get into Raw, maybe. MLW announced that they are relocating an event that they had set for October. They were going to do it. I don't remember what the October dates were, but it doesn't matter because they were supposed to be at the 2300 arena, not the date wasn't October 2300 because that doesn't exist, but they were scheduled to be in Philly at the 2300 arena. They said an important update due to 2300 arena's breach of its agreement with MLW. MLW has made the difficult decision to relocate its October event from the venue. Ticket holders should contact 2300, get a refund, and we explored every possible option to keep the event, but given the late timing, securing a suitable replacement venue was simply not possible. So we apologize to Philly fans. We're going to do something else later. They then announced that they are going to be doing the show at Center Stage in Atlanta instead. And there you go. That's the plan. It's October 3rd was the show originally for 2300 Arena. So it's going to be at Center Stage in Atlanta instead. Another good home for MLW. Don't know what the show was that was booked. It shouldn't have.
Probably a fusion taping.
No. I'm talking 2300. I want to know what the breach of contract was.
Oh, that's the interesting part of this, where I think we're gonna get more information as it comes out. But it's interesting that there was a breach of contract and that it was mentioned in the press release, but wasn't given any details on what the breach exactly was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're gonna call out other companies that are booked there, but it's October, so I don't know who else was booked to be there. That would have been a
No, AEW is going to be there in 2 weeks.
Is AEW doing?
They're doing 2300 for Death Before Dishonor. Well, ROH.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they have a 60-day on that.
Maybe, because that is in the 60-day period.
I don't know what Brawl and Fall is. This might be boxing. But that's another event that's happening at the 2300 Arena.
Maybe Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, you could do Halloween Havoc there, but I don't think they really want to run 2300 again because they know how much of a... They had problems running that. No, was that Center Stage they had problems with? They were supposed to run, and then they couldn't fill it. They talked about
the parking lot or something like that, the production trucks.
Horseshit.
They had that issue at 2300 Arena as well.
They did, right? Okay, so I'm not crazy. Yeah, I don't know. The MLW thing, like you said, I'm sure we're going to get an idea of what it was, but it felt like it's a wrestling related event. And when wrestling companies tend to book these venues, they often have some sort of, what's the word, like a limit, basically. Like you can't have a show within 60, 90 days, 30 days, whatever it is. Everyone's different. WWE has it. AEW has tried to do it before. I think they have successfully with certain shows. Happens in the music world all the time. South by Southwest is the most egregious one, where you're coming in, you're not getting paid most of the time to work South by Southwest in Texas, and then they tell you can't work within like a 90-mile radius or some shit, and it's for like a certain amount of days, 30, 60 days. So yeah. Someone saying just hit up Court and ask him. He's probably talking to the judge right now. We should get him on the show and have him explain himself.
We should hit up Court and be like, what's up? You want to come on the show so we can ask you these questions?
Listen, full disclosure, he said it on our show. He is a Fightful Select subscriber, so I'm sure that the news will eventually make it to our tidbits section, and check out whatever that is. So subscribe to Fightful Select. There's your free plug. Another episode of Where in the World is Court Bauer?
Where in the world is Court Bauer?
Not in TNA, because apparently no one wants to be in TNA. The TNA talk of the day is two more talent have officially departed. We had on Fightful Select the news that Mara Sade was working as a free agent. At the time, she was not set to work she had not been confirmed to be working the Philly tapings that they did this past weekend. She did end up working them. Spoiler alert, she loses. She is not going to be moving on in the Knockouts TV title tournament because she is moving on from TNA, and TNA released a statement yesterday confirming that she is gone and Jody Threat is gone. Jody Threat was on our show in December to promote the New Wave show that she was promoting at the time. And we asked her what her situation was, and she said that she wanted to stay with TNA. Clearly, she stuck with TNA because it's now, several months, 8 months after that conversation. But she did request and gain, thankfully, her release from TNA. I say thankfully because said it on Thursday's show. There is a world in which Jody Threat can be this wild child baby face, not like, whoa, man, wild child. I'm talking just like crazy ass woman, Darby-esque, if you will, Darby Allin-esque wrestler who's over with the crowd. You can have that type of baby face on top, but she's worked incredibly hard. And I know I'm glazing her because, you know, she's Ontario talent here and very well known and respected in Toronto, but also she's friggin' good at wrestling, and she's put a lot of work into being a television character. From where she started in TNA versus where she is now, you can see leaps and bounds of incredible work. So she's departed from TNA. I can't blame her, but yeah, who knows where she lands next. But your reaction to Mara Sade and Jody Threat moving on from TNA Wrestling?
Jody Threat is someone that I've kind of got my attention first from the infamous Athena murder in Toronto matchup on AEW Dark. And then I got to see her, you know, on the independent scene, and then coming into TNA. Honestly, it's a letdown. Like if you were watching TNA like 2-3 years ago, and you saw that Spitfire tag team, you looked at them and you were like, these are two girls that they could put the Knockouts World Championship on. Danny Luna, who's so versatile and has the power, has the speed, is all muscle and all of that. And then Jody Threat giving you something completely different, willing to take these risks and put her body on the line. The Wild Child, and how they came together and became the best tag team in the Knockouts tag team division. And you just thought, hey, once they split from one another, both of them could be top contenders for the Knockouts World Championship. But TNA totally botched the whole breakup. They teased the breakup like multiple times during the partnership. And then when they did the breakup, we didn't even get a proper feud out of the breakup because they had already faced a bunch of times during their partnership. So we didn't even get a proper breakup feud between the two. Danny Luna got the push and got the heel turn, and then she asked for her release from the company. Jody Threat was kind of just put on the back burner. She had like random shot at Ariana Grace during her reign, had some feud with Tessa Blanchard and the Diamond Collective for a bit, but she had been so put on the back burner ever since Spitfire broke up. Like I'm happy for her because she needed to get out of there because she has so much that she can contribute to, independence or a major promotion out there, that she deserves that opportunity. So I'm glad that she is free now to get that chance and be available. And Marsha Sade is one of the most improved wrestlers in all of the business. Honestly, like from where she was as Jakara Jackson, being a very green performance center prospect, and then being on the independent scene and going to TNA and working on her craft over the last year, she's really improved and she's brought it all together. She has a distinct character that stands out from the rest of the people that were on the TNA roster. Honestly, I thought that if she had decided to re-sign with TNA, that she could be a Knockouts World Champion, and that's far from where I thought that she would be when she was Jakara Jackson in NXT. So I'm hoping that she can find a new place where she can hone in on her craft even more and see where her potential helps her reach. But big losses for TNA, and man, this roster is rough. Like this roster is the land of WWE release talent at this point. Like it's ridiculous. Like especially the champions, Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler, who was in WWE for like 20 years, Xia Brookside, who got her start in the WWE Performance Center, Cedric Alexander, who rose up into prominence in the CWC 10 years ago and had a long 6-7 year run with WWE. Jason Hodge, thankfully, is the new international champion, but before that, it was Mustafa Ali, who was established in WWE. The Hardys, of course, is one of WWE's greatest tag teams ever. Luckily, Demon Bunny is the champions because they are TNA originals. But then when you look at the rest of the roster, there's AJ Francis, former WWE talent. There's Ash by Elegance, former WWE talent. There's Brian Myers, former WWE talent. The list goes on and on. Daria Ray. There's Dude,
Santino Marella,
Elijah, Santino Marella, Fabian Eichner, IJ, Indy Hartwell. Like Jesus, I can't scroll without seeing a former WWE star. Like Ian Lee, yeah, Zaya Brookside. Like, come on, Mackenzie. We got ring announcers from WWE talent. Mackenzie Mitchell, Tom Hannafin, Matthew Ray. Like, we can't turn. You can't turn in the TNA locker room without seeing a former WWE talent. And I'm all for these talents to find new work, to find a new promotion, to hone their craft, to shine and show their ability off. But this is on the company. This is not on the talent. The Elena Black. This is on the company, not the talent. When you have that much former WWE talent, you are the home of Misfit Toys. This feels like TNA in 2009 again. This feels like TNA in 2011 again, where there was just so many former WWE stars. It's like, dude, y'all need to get some homegrown talent. And the fact that you have your Ricky Sosas of the world, your Leon Slater, who could be on the way out, and they are not doing enough for them. BDE, his whole story is that he's never won a matchup. TNA, like, they are not doing enough for the talent that can be considered TNA originals to make them stars, where they have to rely on these former WWE talents because they have some piece or some bit of star power that the TNA originals are not, or TNA as a company is not willing to give to their originals.
So who's going to be the former WWE talent to come back to replace the knockouts that left? Because TNA they've been talking about a former TNA title holder, and it's almost certainly a woman. It's a knockout. The people have been jumping to a couple of them, the most popular of which is Ex-Lena, at which point I say sure.
Ex-Lena.
That's, again, sure. Someone had mentioned, a few weeks ago, like, Ex-Lena showing up in TNA is what's going to break Joel.
He dipped on out before it even happened.
I saved my brain from that one. Also, this is hilarious. They're losing all of their Canadian talent as they go to Brampton at the end of this month for tapings. And it's like, oh, you guys still like the brand, right? You don't care that your Canadian compatriots are off the card. Well, we've got Hometown Diener and Santino Marella. Those are the only two Canadians that people are going to be paying attention to, because nope, she ain't gonna work. Someone is saying Kiera Hogan. Yeah, they've been teasing. She's been talking about coming back. She was injured. I don't know if she's 100% yet, but sure. Again, there's nobody here none of those former names are going to entice me to want to watch. Some people, listen, the Cult of Zelina, they're gonna be all over this shit. They're gonna be like, make her the champion, and then they're gonna watch 3 matches and say, yes, Queen Cook, and then afterwards she wins the title, and they're gonna, people are going to realize what her matches are like.
Can't wait for Cresta to randomly bring up Zelina and TNA while we're reviewing Collision.
Yeah, have fun with that. Listen, man, like who you like, just please figure out who's good in the ring and not. Masha Slamovich is Masha's persona non grata for the time being. They wanted her in WWE. If WWE still wanted her, they would have asked her to go back to TNA and move forward with whatever they were doing with her, because that's just the way it is. But she has not been. She's done a couple of signings. She's done a couple of matches, but very under the radar. So I don't expect Masha. Who else is there at this point? Like, I can't think of someone. So Kiera Hogan, Ex-Lena.
Kiera Hogan.
Yeah, it was fine. Who knows? Masha is not happening. Tessa Blanchard coming back for this will be hilarious, but
turn around, come right back.
Let's exactly. Go. We'll pay you real money this time. There's no one that I could see as a big needle mover for TNA at this point. They need to focus on building their own talent, and this is why I praised the Jason Hotch move yesterday when you asked. Yeah. Because they need people like and Casey Navarro for that reason. Because again, they're using established guys that are very popular with the mainstream audience. And I'm talking about Mustafa Ali. I'm talking about Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth. They're using 2 guys that have name brand recognition, and they're putting over younger talent. Yeah, sure, those guys are winning. They should win because they are champions. Well, I mean, Mustafa lost, but the point is, like, they're putting over their guys the right way. They're giving them lots. They're selling their asses off. They're making them look good. And then it's on TNA Creative afterwards to push that narrative that these are the guys to watch. if you can't do that and you need to, huddle around, oh, this former champion maybe sort of kind of coming back. You don't know which champion it is. And it could be Kylan King. I don't think it's Kylan King, by the way, because she's been dealing with like a lot of injury stuff. God bless her. She's working her ass off. I hope she comes back to wrestling, but like I don't think she's there yet. We'll see, but I don't think she's there. But like, who could you possibly? It's gonna be Ash by Elegance, because she hasn't been on TV in months, and now they're just gonna be like, Ash is back, because this is the same company that did a promotional stunt for LeBron James, and it didn't happen, and they got a lot of blowback, rightfully so. So why should I take into account anything you say seriously? Could be Madison Rain.
I don't take it seriously. Madison Rain works in AEW.
It does, exactly. So it's not going to be her. Could be Mickey coming back,
Mickey was just on SummerSlam, so.
And then she told everyone, I'll go where I go. Yeah, Gail Kim's coming back. Sure.
No, that's perfect.
One more rodeo. Everyone needs one more rodeo. How about you just make a rodeo for some of the new talent and let them get over? How about that?
There you go. Let's get into Raw.
Do we have to?
I think we've done enough with TNA.
I think we've definitely crossed that bridge and burned it. Raw was last night talking about trying to build up younger or at least newer talent. They did a few things last night that worked for me. I mean, the show was good. The show wasn't. The show was definitely a bounce back from SummerSlam, or we saw what happened and now let's do better. And
it was a bounce back from Raw and SmackDown last week.
Yeah, there's that.
Some of the worst television this year.
It's a reset, which is what most big pay-per-views should be, is a reset. You want to bring back old talent, set up new feuds, bring out some new concepts, some ideas. And they did most of that, which I thought was really good. We can start as early as Roman Reigns coming out, and people still don't know whether to boo or cheer him because he gives you literally both at the same time. And it's very funny. But Roman Reigns comes out and basically says, I beat Seth Rollins. He's your boy. Sorry about that. But also I'm better. So acknowledge me. And then LA Knight comes out and he's universally cheered, as he should be. And he took Roman to the limit on the microphone. And his eyes bulging out of his head as he's just talking shit is the best. He had Roman kind of tied up a bit. It was great. I thought LA Knight looked great. I mean, there was no chance you're going to out promo LA Knight when it comes to this. He was on par. He was on it. He did great. So we might be getting to LA Knight and Roman sooner than later, or they really are going to stretch the shit out till October.
They're stretching this shit out until Money in the Bank.
Till October.
Roman's not working on TV. Roman's not working Sunday Night Main Event.
Wow, he hates Atlanta. I get it.
I mean, he's already worked Atlanta just a year and a half ago, so
That's
he's
true.
fine. But no, I like this opening segment. I think it's the direction that they should have gone to. It's the direction they've been teasing for months with LA Knight talking trash about the bloodline and Roman Reigns, and now finally he gets to confront him. And LA Knight, he brought his game, especially the second half before Roman was trying to leave. He stops him and then he brings him back in. He's like, "I'm gonna knock you back to factory sentence. I've been earned my spot. I'm everything that you wish you were." And he was like, you over here with your brother this, brother that, with the Shield. He was like, let me get something. Yankee, Oko, you suck, basically, in the Shield tone. I was like, oh, this guy is awesome. LA Knight is on his game. It's gonna be interesting or scary to see how WWE spreads this out and stretches this all the way to Money in the Bank. But I think that if LA Knight is working his way through the rest of the bloodline, a singles match with Jey Uso, get his win back against Jimmy Uso, who beat him before SummerSlam. I wish Roman would have brought that up, but he don't watch the show. And Jacob Fatu, who also beat him before SummerSlam, so hopefully he gets that win back before he faces Roman Reigns as well. Then we could stretch this out over the next 9 weeks to get to Money in the Bank.
That's a long time just to get to LA Knight losing a match against Roman Reigns.
Hey, Roman's going to be busy at the end of September.
Brother, what an incredible finish to that. So let's cap the Roman Reigns story, shall we? Roman Reigns, after Jacob Fatu beats the shit out of Royce.
Well, first, after his promo,
oh yes, he confuses everyone again.
He reads the riot act to the entire bloodline. He during his promo with LA Knight, he brought up how he had to win a tournament, a number one contenders, a battle royal. He just won a 6-man tag, but he tried to play it off like it was nothing. But he obviously showed that 6-man tag loss did have some effect on him, because he went and he berated the rest of the bloodline, telling them how we supposed to be getting respect. We supposed to get everybody's respect. I'm out here winning and y'all losing a 6-man tag. He was like, to LA Knight. LA Knight is out here talking trash. And where's Solo? Solo should be getting me coffee right now. And he's on his own. Where's he at? And Royce Keys out here. Fatu, Jacob, am I your family? Am I your family, or is he your family? Because all I keep hearing is him saying that he's your family. So I'm going to need you to take care of that. Make sure he knows that we are the only bloodline, the only family around here. And then Jimmy says that we could take care of LA Knight. And he says, y'all had y'all chance. I'll take care of him now.
Once again, this gaslighting son of a bitch is a heel.
He walks away, and then LA Knight trolls the bloodline, saying, oh, you guys can't touch me. Oh,
coming by with my Walmart bag and my Walmart.
Oh yeah. That was the other part of the promo. Roman saying that LA Knight is broke. He a broke bitch. He a broke boy. He got that bro boy watch. I got that real watch. I was like, my God, Roman, do you understand that you are not a babyface whatsoever?
But so this is what's funny, is that they're paralleling Rock and Stone Cold with this, right? Like, you see this, right? Because Roman is absolutely in the Rock $500 shirts. Look at my watch, except he's not going to wear the shirt. He's wearing the expensive watch. He's got the belt. And LA Knight is the everyman. Yeah, everybody's behind him. He's wearing, he wears the Walmart watch with pride. He doesn't give a shit. He's just happy to do what he does and beat people's asses. Like, they're trying to do the Rock Austin parallel. Whether it works, you'll find out week after week. I thought last night, I thought they did a good job of trying to get you there, but now they have to tell the story for the foreseeable 2 months, which that part I'm a little like, we'll see about that. But yeah, it was happening. It was cute. But yeah, when LA Knight comes by and he does the does the flinch, and Jey Uso just he flinches back. That shit ruled. Everyone just laughed. He was like, damn it, you got me. Oh man.
And then Jacob is approached by Royce Keys, and he basically tells him like he needs to shut all this family stuff down, and sets up the main event, street fight.
Yeah, so they set up the street fight, and the street fight was fun. Like, it was two big dudes beating the shit out of each other with chairs and tables, and the only and a kendo stick. That's what those are the only weapons you get.
Only weapons you could use in WWE.
Yeah, that's it. The only the marketable ones can be used: the Wingstop chair, the Slim Jim table, and the Jurgen's giant stick.
They're gonna get something. They're gonna get something on those kendo sticks before long.
The giant kendo stick, brought to you by Blue Chew. Use your dick right. Anyway, the match was good.
Wow, what the hell?
What? Everyone should be doing that, just consensually. Again, it was a quick, 13-minute street fight match. It was fun. It was good, and by the end of it, they kind of ruined it by doing the fake blood stuff at the end with Royce Keys. The Tongan Death Grip. It's a KO finish basically, and he's bleeding afterwards. As Royce Keys bleeding from the mouth, except. The blood is very bright red and kind of chalky. Anyway, most importantly, Roman Reigns comes out to the top of the stage, and he acknowledges Roman Reigns acknowledges that Jacob Fatu beat the shit out of somebody in the name of family. And then Roman Reigns walks to the back. And most people did not see this because there was only 30 seconds left in the broadcast, to which you say, what can you do in 30 seconds? Well, it turns out your local AAA spokesperson can come up to you and ask you a question, because Rey Mysterio was back there saying, I don't know if you know this, but I'm the general manager of AAA. And you know what the response should have been from Roman? Instead of, now I'm aware, it should have been, is my car ready? Say from AAA.
No, it was the best. It was the best because you said 30 seconds for Rey Mysterio to represent AAA. No, it was 30 seconds for Roman to bury AAA, where Ray tells him, "I'm the AAA general manager." He was like, "Well, I do now."
It was completely.
You don't watch that show at all.
completely on point. He was just like, sure. Roman should have just been like, you fix my car. And that's it. You want to bury it anymore. That's the way you could have done it. Anyway, he says, I have an interesting proposition to you. So he's going to try and sell him AAA because they need a new owner. So who knows? Most people are thinking like Roman's going to be at the Chicago show. And honestly, he's going to be, they need to sell the MGM Grand now. That's what they got to do. They want Roman in Vegas, not Chicago. They want Roman.
I think I could see either or. I think it is either triple mania or Chicago. I saw some people thought it was going to be Edinburgh, Texas for the All In show, but nah, Roman ain't doing that. No, Roman ain't doing that. Roman, they want to keep all their main roster talent away from that because they know they're going to get slaughtered.
Yeah, they want butts and seats in a venue that they just recast. Because again, they were in the HyperX Arena for Triple Mania and they had it sold out. There were 2,000 seats. They could have been happy with it because they're like, oh, we've got a month left. How are we going to promote this sold out show? God forbid we promote, creative storylines that make you want to watch the show. No, instead they were just like, let's move it into the biggest arena that's not T-Mobile that we can find, and that's the MGM Garden Grand Arena. So that's an 11,000 seat arena. That is a large scale from 2,000. Now they have to fill that space, and because you've already announced what the biggest matches are, 2,000 people were like, yeah, I'll pay to go see that. Now you got to find 11,000 people who want to go see this,
and also the biggest match they're doing that for those 2-night show is going to be in Mexico.
That's right. So now you got to find a way to make it that Roman is going to be a part of this. And I think it's either Triple Mania or they're going to be in Mexico City for Raw after that, like that week. So
that makes sense.
They're very clearly trying to get Roman involved in whatever they're getting for Triple Mania because they want to make that a big deal because this is their first under WWE and it's a 2-night special for them under the WWE banner. Yeah. I think
it's the second, the first 2-night event under WWE.
The first 2-night Triple Mania, but it's their second one. But it's Did they do?
They had a Triple Mania last year.
They did. It just wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, because they already had the creative in place. They were going to blow it up with months.
Yeah.
Anyway,
exactly.
Now they got a reason to want to make it big. And
this is the first under the the Undertaker Jeremy Borash regime.
Jeremy Borash Undertaker. Let's get the listings right.
No matter what, however you want to place it.
No matter what,
Ryan Ward and Triple H.
Yeah, no matter what the Undertaker wants to tell Chris Van Vliet, I wasn't dancing around the question. I am the lead creative of AAA of the AAA. Anyway, it's Jeremy Borash. The AAA. How do you think he pronounces it to the talent? Oh, gracias.
AAA. We're in AAA here, guys.
He comes out every single week to a meeting. And he's just like, who's going to tune up my car first?
He's like, you done it now. You've done it, man.
Stop it. Oh, that's too far. No, it's not. Who am I kidding? Anyway, so Roman.
That just smells of desperation. Getting Roman Reigns to be on a AAA show.
You gotta sell 11,000 seats. I understand.
They just broke glass. They went to the extreme. Like they skipped ahead.
The show, the thing is, like, the show weekly is free on YouTube. Like, you can watch it, and it's a good hour-long show. Like, it's not a bad show most weeks. The wrestling is good. The characters are there. Yeah, it's like it's a fun show most weeks. Yeah. You didn't need to do this. You could have just emphasized the fact the show is free. There's fun characters. Dominic Mysterio is not a giant loser there. You could have done anything, but instead, Roman's got to come out for Vegas.
I hear Dom is godly in AAA.
Oh yeah, well, because he's a big.
Because you can't see him.
Well, depends where you're looking.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Roman will be in Mexico City, and then he's also going to be at Triple Mania. Good for him.
That's interesting. Who do you think they would put from AAA against Roman Reigns?
Oh, I don't think he's doing a match. I think he's doing an appearance.
That's even better.
Because I feel like the Chicago event. Did we talk about this yesterday, or did we? Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. Dom and Ray in the hair versus mask in Chicago.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah.
And then they should use Roman as a catalyst to make that match happen, but not as like he's not going to be a part of the match. He's just going to be a guy who's like, I don't know, they'll make a like guest fucking ring announcer or something. Who knows?
He's like, Acknowledge me, weighing in 245 pounds.
No way wrestling. No way Roman's wrestling on a show he just heard about. I didn't know if you knew this. I'm the manager of AAA. Okay.
Okay, I do now. Who
What's
cares? He's like, we want you to wrestle. He's like,
so yeah, I feel like he's just gonna have a segment. They're gonna tease something, but it's just gonna be him talking. He's gonna say acknowledge me in Spanish.
introducing Jefe Tribal Original Roman Reigns. Yeah, Jefe Tribal Original is how you say original tribal chief in Spanish.
And people are gonna cheer, and yeah, I'll take 30 minutes of the show, and that'll be it. Roman ain't gonna do anything with Mr. Iguana because he ain't gonna be. Listen, he had a perfectly perfect storyline in WrestleMania that they didn't do, and that was while you were building Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, you could have had Roman Reigns beat the shit out of CM Punk's best friend Danhausen.
You could have.
And you could have had CM Punk enraged.
He don't deal with the jokies.
No, he makes the jokes. I make the jokes. I'm the funny guy around here. That's Roman Reigns.
There you go. But Roman Reigns on a AAA show. I did not think I would be saying that in the year of our Lord 2020.
You know what it's going to be? It's going to be him interacting with Undertaker in the ring. And they're just going to do a stare down. And Undertaker's going to be like, this is your yard. And then he's going to step out and that's going to be it. And everyone's going to be like, this is awesome.
Undertaker's just they're going to have a stare down and everybody's like, this is awesome. This is awesome. And then Undertaker is going to go. He's going to acknowledge Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns is going to look at him. He's going to go like this. And then he's going to turn it into. And everybody's going to be like, oh my God, what a moment. What a moment. What a moment. And worlds collide.
Michael Cole's going to be sitting there being like, did you see Worlds Collide? The best segment of the night. The best moment we've ever noticed, we've ever seen on our show. Anyway, yeah, that's going to be Roman Reigns. Taker hates doing this podcast. So do I, pal.
I hate listening to it.
It's fair. That's fine. Him and his wife, they're doing great. Anyway, so that was the opening of the show. Big Cass is back. He came back in very Big Cass fashion, beat up a small person. He beat up Javon Evans after Javon beat Holly. I didn't expect to do that. And then my mouth just kept going.
Javon and Ethan Page was the best match on the show. I thought they went out there. They know each other so well. They have good chemistry with one another. The finish was unique as well. You get Ethan Page trying to expose the turnbuckle. Javon does a full leapfrog over Ethan and the referee into the OG color. That's going to be a memorable one that people are going to take note of. So yeah, good win for Javon. And then they said, F all of that. We're doing Big Cass. We just gave you a win so Big Cass can look strong when he beats you down. WWE for you.
Good match though.
Good match.
Poor Ethan Page though. He's great. He could talk you into a room. He could have done Ethan Page and Chad Gable for the Intercontinental Championship, and that would have mattered.
I would have done that. That's where I would have gone in that direction following Chad's win at SummerSlam.
Yeah. So Big Cass is back, and he's just here to stack bodies and do what all the big guys do in WWE because it never changes. It's what we do. When he said, no disrespect to Javon, and I was like, well, you kind of disrespected him by beating the shit out of him after the match.
This shit pissed me off. I'll be honest with y'all. I like Big Cass. I want him to be successful, but him playing the same character he was playing in 2018 ain't moving me. And ain't moving me not a one bit. Big Cass playing big, tough, strong man number 47 ain't doing nothing. He will have his place right next to Rusev in the freaking mid card. And Javon and Big Cass could actually be a good solid. No, it won't. It won't be a solid feud. It won't. It just won't. Like you literally have to have Big Cass beat Javon when Javon has freaking momentum. So that's stupid. Or Javon beats Big Cass when you need to build up Big Cass after he re-signed with the company. So that's also stupid. This is a stupid feud. This was the dumbest choice that WWE could have made. Me, myself, I did an article for Wrestle Talk, and they was like, come up with ideas for Big Cass to do when he came in. When he comes back in, he should have went for a top star, and you should have had him beat a top star so he could get some rub for him. Seth Rollins ain't doing jack and shit after losing to Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. He could have had a promo segment, Big Cass interrupts him, beats him down, and done the same thing that he did last night, and it would have been more effective and been more memorable, but yet you had two returns on this show that overshadow Big Cass's return because all you did with Big Cass is just place him in the same role that you had him in 8 years ago that led to his damn release. Even though he looks like $1 million, he can deliver great promos. Him delivering the mean strongman promo did jack and shit and just tell me this is a freaking waste. He's just gonna be in the same role that he was in 8 years ago. Just like Rusev re-signed with the company and was right back in the same role he was in 5 years ago.
Yeah, everything is said is true. I think they were really hoping on Enzo being part of this team, but he could still be. He still could be, I should say. He's yeah, who knows? But I get it. They're just gonna have Cass back. I like Cass too. I want him to succeed. We've seen his rise, his re-rise after leaving WWE. We've seen him, bounce back and battle his own addiction. We've seen him get into tremendous shape and make himself, I won't say undeniable, but make himself a star in AEW and really turn a lot of heads. We've seen what he's done. I hope that he comes back, and I hope that he really enjoys what he gets to do. I hope he makes a lot of money while he does it. Yeah. But I wholeheartedly agree with you. From a creative standpoint, you stepped on his dick the immediate segment after that by having that women's segment, which was great. And I think it's fantastic that we're going to get into it in a second. I think it's great that the two women they brought back are back. But also, you brought back two women who are super more over than Big Cass is in 2026. So now you got to factor that in and hope that next week people are going to be excited for Big Cass. I don't think he's going to be main event player anytime soon in WWE world.
No, he came back and he attacked a mid-carder. A mid-carder who isn't even one of the most popular guys in the company. I love Javon as much as everybody else loves Javon, but he's still getting over to the point that he needs to get over to get a real rise and a real push in this company. So having a guy that you do need to reestablish if you want to make something out of him after re-signing him after 8 years, he should not be feuding with Javon Evans. He should be feuding with someone who is actually established.
Established. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't, but I mean, he came in and he's motivated. That's all that matters to me. And I hope that the creative lets him be motivated and stay motivated. So we'll see. First night, listen, good to see him back. Good to see him look good. And the promo he cut wasn't bad. It was just very WWE trope. I'm here to beat everyone and stack bodies. I'm a big guy, no offense, Javon. It's like, well, Javon's going to take offense and they're going to have a match. And he's either going to beat the shit out of Javon or they're going to do a 50-50 split. And Javon's going to get one win because they still try to protect Javon from what I don't know. Or they're going to just let him lose and Javon moves on because God forbid Javon should lose or should win a match and move on in his own pursuits of a title. I don't know what title he's going to go for either because the Intercontinental Championship is in the land of the small guys. So I don't know.
He'll eventually go for the Intercontinental Championship. I think that Gable's someone that's known him all these years. They started off in NXT together in the Performance Center, so there could be a story there. But man, oh man, I was so annoyed. I was first annoyed by him attacking Javon because I was like, that didn't make any type of impact whatsoever. That's going to be forgotten by the end of the show. And then they replayed it, so I couldn't forget it. And then they did that promo where he looked in the camera, was all serious. And if y'all have heard any Big Cass or Big Bill promo or interview outside of the ring over the last 8 years, he is one of the funniest guys in wrestling. Why are you hamstringing him by making him serious tough guy?
No notes.
They don't know who they signed. They just saw his body and they were like, sign here, here money here.
Yeah. Well, make all your money. Keep going. Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Roxanne Perez come out. This what is that belt? Why does Raquel Rodriguez A, get a custom belt, and B, what does she have to do with barbed wire around it?
Yeah, I was so confused. I was like,
in
how
what
did she
world are you the hardcore girl?
It took me a minute because I didn't see, like, I wasn't paying attention to the screen when they made their entrance. It wasn't until they got in the ring where I looked at the belt and I was like, why does the belt have 2 scratches down the middle? Does Wolverine have it now? And then I realized it was hardcore and it was like barbed wire. I was like, since when is Raquel hardcore?
They're really trying to turn her into something she isn't. And I'm wondering, does the belt's got to be up for sale by now?
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm going to see if this this legacy belt. What happens if I search by new? Give me new. Come on. Newest item. Is it there? Can someone else find it while I'm on the air? I don't see it. I see the Falcor belt. That trick is now given up. So, if you own that belt, I'm sorry, all 3 of you. I don't see the weird Raquel belt. There's no reason for that belt to exist in that capacity. She's not hardcore. She doesn't have... very silly. So there you go. Raquel Foley. That's right. Nothing makes sense, but here we are. All of this
Foligas.
That's got to be a bad word in Spanish that you're saying, and we just don't know it.
Even better.
Sol Ruca and Roxanne Perez have a match. It wasn't great. Again, Sol Ruca just has not been able to get it on main. I don't know what it is. There were a bunch of missed spots. There was some botching at the end that really took everyone, including the announcers, out of the match. They had to stumble all over themselves to either try to explain what was or wasn't happening after a move got messed up. It was upsetting, but it all didn't matter because it was a DQ finish, and there was a pop rocks on Sol at the end. All of this just to get Becky coming back. Becky Lynch is back. No explanation about why we should be cheering her other than she's Becky Lynch and she rules.
Hey, I'm glad that Demoy was like me. I was happy to see Becky. Demoy was happy to see Becky. Who cares about all of that? She's still the man. She's still the same character she was when she left, except now she is targeting heels. That exactly the babyface turn I wanted for Rebecca Quinn.
There was no understanding as to why it happened. It was like, Seth's not here tonight, so we'll give you the next best thing. Well, probably the better thing. Her or his husband.
Better half.
His wife.
His better half.
His better half. Hey, congratulations. It was very strange. But listen, again, good to see her. Nice that she's back. But I certainly watched it just being like, wait, we shouldn't like you. Why are you not? You just kind of went against the heel, so now you're suddenly the babyface. I get it. I want to cheer you. I also want a reason to cheer you, not just I'm back, Paige style.
She's finally the first person who stepped up to Liv and called her out for not defending her title and made sure that she's going to defend her title before another 100 days. That's the babyface turn.
That also sucks equally.
Hey, you wanted a babyface turn? You wanted me to explain it? That was the turn right there. I mean, how many times have we seen
in this thing?
How many times have we seen heels who leave and then come back and are baby faces?
His name is Roman Reigns, and they think he's a babyface.
Yeah, Roman Reigns has the greatest babyface turn of all time. You want to know why? Because all he did was leave. That's all he did. He left. He left after he lost the title, became one of the biggest baby faces ever.
I love this. This was WWE saying, we hear you, IWC, loud and clear. No. It was we hear you, ESPN, who put on the screen Liv Morgan, 100 days as champion, 0 title defenses. And once that made the rounds, they're like, oh, shit, our broadcast partners actually just buried us. Now we have to make it look like we planned it this way.
Yeah, buried our booking, so now we have to make it the story.
Just obnoxious. So, yeah, it happened. The Becky comes back, says, I'm going to make sure it's not another 100 days before you defend your title. And she's going to, make fun of Liv about the all-time stuff. And then added in the, you're not even the best champion in your group. You're not the best champion who slept with Dominic Mysterio. And I'm like, let me know. No one's actually slept with Dominic Mysterio in this faction. That's the whole thing.
The storyline is that Dom was in a relationship with Rhea and Liv.
But there was never any like outward projection of a relationship physically.
Yes, there was.
They never made out. They
multiple times Rhea made references to having sex with Dom. Multiple times.
Yeah, references are just words. Words don't matter, even though words matter.
That's canon. If it's said on screen, it's canon. So in canon,
mommy's on top is not a reference to sex. It could be a domination relationship.
That's a form of sex, Joel. It don't have to be penetration to be considered sex.
Someone's saying Joel wants to see the tapes. No, I don't. I'm not that person. Anyway, yeah, did Rhea ever kiss Dom? No, Dom never made out with or kissed either of them. And that's fine.
He kissed Liv.
Did he?
Yes, SummerSlam 2020. What are we talking about? SummerSlam 2024. We all saw this. What are we talking about?
I can't remember because
why am I saying pause? I said you don't have to have penetration to have sex. That is just words. That is words. I'm not alluding to anything that is pause worthy.
Right. No, I was also answering a message, but I couldn't remember. Oh no, someone else said pause.
Yeah.
Anyway, they ain't fucking, so it doesn't matter. Stop putting up for your girl Becky. That's all I have to say. Let me poke holes in her comments. Joel does question everything.
He does. This is why I enjoy doing podcasts with Joel, because I like coming up with answers for stuff. So the fact that Joel questions everything, it makes me think and come up with an answer for it.
Yes, but that's the problem is you shouldn't have to answer for WWE's lack of creative ability.
But at least like when you question me on something, I'm not trolling you back with it like Jeremy. I'm actually coming up with thoughtful answers.
Listen, they ain't fucking. That's all I'm saying.
Everybody fucking.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. You don't hear that on Busted Open. Mostly because those guys haven't. Anyway, so
mostly because those guys are getting fucked. They ain't doing no fucking.
Let the record show I wasn't the one who said those comments. What is it on your channel? The opinions expressed by Jimmy Macram do not reflect those of the True Heel Heat channel. Yes, well, in this case, the opinions of SP3 do not reflect those of In the Weeds or the Fightful Overbook channel. Stop it.
Hey, don't worry. Half of them got me blocked anyway. So.
Oh, that's all right. Chat loves you for that one. Oh. Send SP3 $1,000 that he can then send to me to take a flight to the UK.
There we go.
That's right. We know how to do this. We're just going to cycle the money around so we all get the same benefits.
There we go. Cycle it around. Let's do it.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, Becky's back and she wants the title. And then not to be outdone, Stephanie Vaquer is back. You can all stop asking where she is or when she's coming back. She came back last night and she got physical with everybody. Becky Lynch was just like, hey, stay out of my way. And Stephanie's like, make me. And now they kissed. Now they're in a relationship.
Whoa.
Sorry.
I did not see any of that.
Yeah, that was on the Netflix Canada feed. I don't know what happened.
Flip it around. It was Stephanie who told Becky to stay out of my way.
Was it?
And Becky said, or what? And I was like, stand on business, because I was expecting her to still be her heel self and back down eventually. But I like that they stood on business. They started talking trash to one another. This was the shot in the arm that the Raw Women's Division desperately needed right now. So I'm actually interested in the Raw Women's Division for the first time in 2026.
Okay. I am too. I thought it was good to see Stephanie Vaquer back. I thought it was great to see Becky Lynch return as well. And Liv Morgan doesn't upset me as champion. I just need her to actually defend the title and have storylines with other people in the division so that I want to see her wrestle. Otherwise, what are we doing? Right. So this is good.
I just think that Liv has given us some of the worst promo work of anyone in WWE this year. So
Would you say she's giving you the worst female promo work of all
time. I like how she goes. She says of all, and then she turns it into a smile, and she keeps going all time. I do like that. She has regressed on the mic though. I think it's,
you know what she should do the all time, but she should do it like The Rock, where she just goes, "Oh, la 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 la."
That would be awesome. But it's quite clear. I think that if even the biggest Liv Morgan fans could say that her promo work has not been as good as it was in 25 or 24 or 23. That's why she's relying on the gimmicks of the all time.
I think I hear Taryn knocking at your door right now.
Who?
Taryn.
Who's
you
Taryn?
know Taryn? You know Taryn?
Taryn Terrell?
No. Huge Liv Morgan fan.
Oh, I know.
Knocking at your door right now.
She has big something, Taryn.
That is her name on Twitter. That is not SP3 speaking out of turn.
No. Big T. No? Yeah, Big TT.
She'll tell you. She does. It's okay. Anyway, moving on. Those two are back, and then afterwards, Paul Heyman is confronted by Oba Femi, and Oba Femi says, "We're best friends now." I'm not going to do the accent, even though it wouldn't be racist for me to do it, because he also doesn't actually do the accent. That's fake too. But I'm not going to do it out of respect for everyone else. So he says, "Yeah, we're best friends now." And Paul's just like, "Okay." And Oba goes out to the ring and basically says, "Me and Brock, we're actually cut from the same cloth. We're best friends. Nobody ask questions, please." And that was
awful. This awful freaking revisionist history that he had to give on this whole program. And story is hilarious. It made me laugh so much, because I was like, this is the first time that they have literally that Oba Femi has said something that it was quite clear. I could see the WWE script coming out of his mouth. Like that's how scripted and how bad this excuse of the story between him and Brock was.
They clearly do not have a plan for Oba Femi once they realize how popular Oba Femi is. And it's very fun to watch this week after week. They gave him a title shot that he threw away, and they still haven't revised whether or not he's going to get that title shot. They had this stare. We'll talk about the stare down in a minute, but like they don't know what they're getting with Oba, because they refuse to pull any trigger, because they don't know if the guy they need to pull the trigger on him with wants to play ball. He's too busy going down to Mexico or Vegas or wherever they're talking about. So yeah, this wasn't great for Oba coming out of this quote unquote passing of the torch, despite the fact that, you know, Oba won this feud. He got the huge praise at the end of night one, and this is how they're going to use him afterwards. So he said he's going to lead a new generation. Well, this new generation currently is in need of a Bret Hart, and I don't know if they're going to get one.
He said he has the torch now. He's the leader of the new generation. The old guard will fall. So, like, when he was doing this promo, I'm like, okay, so who from the old guard is going to come out and attack him? I was thinking maybe Drew McIntyre's back, and
maybe
he could come out. Big Cass could have attacked him. Like that would have been more of a statement than attacking Javon Evans, who never won a goddamn thing in his life in WWE. Like it would have been more impactful attacking Oba Femi. And losing to Oba Femi is much better than even beating Javon Evans, honestly, at this point. But that's the route they went. Luckily, we did get something, because I was like, once he did the promo and he leaves the ring, I'm like, so that's it. We don't have anything planned for Oba Femi coming off of Hell in a Cell. That's crazy. And then luckily the Braun's music hits, the Vision comes out, and we get the stare down between Braun Breaker and Oba Femi. And Joel, I can't tell you how much I laughed. I laughed so much, because all I heard in my head was Paul Triple H Levesque in the meeting with the creative team and being like, so I'm saying we might as well do this Oba Femi Brock Lesnar matchup, because Oba Femi Braun Breaker matchup, because we're burying Braun anyway. We might as well get this done now before we bury him completely, right?
The look on Braun's face as he's just like, this could have been so much more for me.
We could have been doing this at a WrestleMania. We could have been doing this at SummerSlam.
You could have done this in War Games, and people would have been like, "Holy shit!" But instead, he's just staring at the guy who took his spot. He's just
they literally, Joel, could have done this at Royal Rumble. They were 1 and 2 in the Royal Rumble.
Yep. But instead, we had to get Braun out of the ring because it was all going to a match that never happened. Incredible piece of business. And you feel for Bron Breakker because he was so much that guy, but he just, I don't know, maybe the guy just wants to spend all his time on his fishing boat, doing his thing. And that's up to him. But I'm not going to cast assertion that he wants to get out of there because enough people are like, oh, look at his face. I get that. I'm also, I don't know what happens on the other, 22 hours of his day. Mm-hmm. But like, they're clearly not giving him what he was supposed to be getting. And they found it with what he was promised, what they figured it would be. His injury clearly, derailed some stuff as well. So how do you repay them? You bury the song and dance guy. Joe Hendry gets beat by Bron Breakker real fast. That's a thing. Fun, right? Oh, and Austin Theory is also there. Don't forget.
Austin Theory was around. He was present. Present would be the best way to say that. He was present there. Yeah, he separated the two. Man, I just feel for Bron Breakker because he's a guy that is still so talented and is still a guy that they could make something of even at this point in time, but they have totally shit the bed, totally fumbled him completely, and I don't even know if they understand how badly they fumbled him.
It's incredible. Sorry. This is it. The summary of Austin Theory's whole character. Oh, and also Austin Theory.
And also Austin Theory was there. And I've seen this now twice, so I'm not just picking on Zeno Hour here. Zeno Hour saying I'm sensing an Oba versus Braun trilogy. I think it was Greater Than Haro who says I actually think they'll have Braun win via vision interference to prolong the feud. And I'm here to tell y'all, if Bron Breakker wins a matchup against Obafemi after Obafemi just beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania and in Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam, before Obafemi challenges for a world title, they are repeating what they did with Bron Breakker. Because Bron Breakker should not be beating Obafemi after Obafemi beat Brock Lesnar twice this year. Bron Breakker is in no position whatsoever to be beating Obafemi. And you are axing, if you think that that's what's going to happen, you are basically saying you think that WWE is going to ruin Obafemi, which I'm not saying you're wrong, but that is what they would be doing. There's no way. I don't think there's a way for them to have Bron Breakker at this point in time beat Obafemi and Obafemi not get hurt by that.
I don't know what you could possibly do with Bron and Oba to make Oba continue to be the big star that they are telling us he's supposed to be, other than having him go for the world title that he won in a shot at and then promptly said, no, I want to face the other guy that doesn't have a title in a cage that we're not going to use on the event that we only got the main event because something changed and they realized, oh, we only have one of these ring skirts because we didn't make two of them. So like, again, the Oba deal has been very piecemeal. And it feels that way remember, he beats Brock at WrestleMania and then he does the open challenge. And the open challenge is answered by complete nobodies until they bring Brock back. And
they only did the open challenge for 2 weeks.
They took a week off and then they brought it back for a third week and then Brock came back and they're like, oh shit, we're going to Italy with this. Okay. And then they did it to Italy. And then after Italy, he was like, well, now I want him again, but also King of the Ring is here. So I'm going to do King of the Ring, but also I want Brock. So every step of the way it was, oh, I've moved forward in King of the Ring, but also I want Brock. And everyone's like, take your eyes off the prize and get on the real prize. What the fuck are we doing? The whole time they've been telling you, like, this guy has eyes like Shawn Michaels. He's going to see both sides of it until he gets his title shot. And instead they went for Brock. And now they're gonna keep going with Oba, and people are gonna keep cheering him, thinking he's the greatest thing around. But his story has been so weird because they can't shit or get off the pot with what he's supposed to be dominant at. And then Bron Breakker is now tossed into it, and everyone's like, "Holy shit, holy shit!" But it's like Bron Breakker hasn't been. He's a tag team champion, and they haven't done shit with that either. Where was he on SummerSlam? He he didn't have that dog in him because Chad Gable was the dog in him.
He wasn't on SummerSlam, wasn't on WrestleMania, got eliminated in 10 seconds in the Royal Rumble. The 3 biggest shows of the year so far, he's only been competing in the ring for 10 seconds.
I'm assuming he's driving. There's no video. I'm going to bring Jeremy on, and he's going to say if he actually doesn't want to be here. You're on the road, aren't you?
I'm here for longer than 10 seconds.
Okay.
maybe only 20 seconds. But unlike Braun Breaker, I can get myself over and stay over, and I will shove myself down everybody's throats. Pause.
Hey, yo.
You probably shouldn't do that. That's kind of it's assault, brother.
Assaults right there. Jeez.
I have to keep my streak alive. I will not go out like the Undertaker. I will continue to fight, even if it means being here with no camera on, because I don't think anybody wants to stare at the underside of my beard.
Sexy.
Jeremy, what was the last WWE show you went to?
The last WWE show I went to?
SummerSlam. 2 years ago.
I went to SummerSlam, in 2 years ago. I don't remember if I went to a SmackDown, if it was before or after that. I went to SmackDown in North Carolina with my mom, but I think that was before SummerSlam. I could not tell you what happened on that show. By the way,
where did you sit at SummerSlam?
I don't know. Like, I had pretty good seats. It was like 100 kind of section.
Nah. That's some bullshit, man. All the work that you do, all the writing, all the podcasts, you do more for these companies than anyone else would do. I believe these companies should not only sit you in a better seat in the front row, they should acknowledge you on screen. Did AEW acknowledge you? Tony Khan came on the 24-hour stream, but WWE can't acknowledge you for all the hard work that you do? That's ridiculous.
Has any other wrestling company ever put us in the front row and identified us?
I think MLW would if we showed up there.
And that's why we're MLW Radio.
That's right. Coming soon to the MLW Radio Network.
Cord has said we can criticize the product. He wants us to, be fair to the product, and if something's bad, we should say it's bad. We will definitely do that, even though we're not getting paid by Cord, but we will definitely do that. We will.
MLW is having trouble getting paid to send it. Look at this. It's not important.
There we go. There's our product criticism right there. I mean, I do agree all these companies should acknowledge me. I was out here. I mean, they probably don't like me if they knew I existed. After last night, when I literally spoiled the entire show an hour before, I did not have a rundown or anything either. People are like, oh, well, the rundown was posted on Fightful. Check when the rundown was, and check when I sent those tweets. It had nothing to do with the rundown. I know WWE booking, and I knew they were going to do LA Knight and Roman Reigns. It was
everybody should have known that. I said that too.
Everybody thought like, oh, well, Oba, it's definitely Oba and Roman now. Like, what?
No. I was like, I had someone say that in our chat yesterday, and I was like, they are not doing Oba Femi versus Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to wait till next year. He's not going to get that King of the Ring title shot. He's going to have to win the Royal Rumble, and then he'll get a title shot.
You know what he should do? He should turn around and be like, I want the title shot against CM Punk or whoever the WWE Undisputed title holder is. And then he wins the Rumble, and then he gets Roman, and they just beats Roman and gets both titles. And now he leads that new generation. Let's go. They ain't going to do it. They're piecemealing everything together with Oba.
I disagree with all of this. I think that Oba should I think Oba should win the Royal Rumble and then be like, hey, Brock Lesnar, we should fight again. Even though you have retired again, we should still fight again.
Jeremy, I don't know if you heard Obafemi. He explained it very clearly. Say, he beat Brock at WrestleMania, and Brock decided to retire. He knew he found the person to replace him, but Brock wasn't sure. He had to make sure, so that's why he came back, and then he beat him. So Oba had to learn. The question at WrestleMania was if Obafemi could swim. The question at SummerSlam, it was much different now. It was, can Obafemi, can he breathe underwater?
You can't breathe underwater.
They're not doing like Bron. They're not doing like Bron and Oba for like 2 years either. They just did that teaser last night because it's like, hey guys, yeah, we know this match exists. We can do it, but just don't get too excited. Maybe at WrestleMania 50 you'll see this.
Nah, you missed what I said right before we started talking about this. It was like, this was Triple H in the WWE Unreal Season 5. So we're in the process of burying Braun Breaker. So while he still has a bit of momentum and success, let's have him face Obafemi now so Obafemi can beat his ass before we bury him completely. This is what we do.
I was mad. I mean, Joe Hendry didn't actually get any like offense in. Dude,
why didn't he?
Joe Hendry should have like hit Braun from behind, whipped him off into the ropes.
Yes.
Braun ducks a clothesline, gets more momentum, spear, match over. Why did we do distraction? Here comes Austin Theory and Joe Hendry moves out of the way, and so it looks like he's confident. Fuck all that. Just have Braun kill him.
Jeremy, don't make me say the line.
No, you gotta say the line.
I'm not sure if you know this, but there's a time for concerts and there's a time for hitting your opponent in the back as a heel when you're not a heel.
He just let him stare at the entranceway for like a good 2 minutes.
A big old loser. That's Joe Hendry. But he's got a new song. I'm sure he'll be in concert next week.
He pinned Dominic Mysterio 2 weeks ago.
Haven't we all? Everyone, the chat game.
I mean, everybody's. Yeah. I guess
he had to get
Dom at this point.
Joe Hendry is so low on the totem pole. He had to be saved by Akira Tozawa.
God bless. Everyone should be saved by Akira Tozawa. You see how that man looked 20 years ago, and you would be happy to be saved by the man he is now.
I do like the Akira Tozawa. He should pin Austin Theory at the very least.
Let him beat Obafemi.
I'm okay. Well, okay, if he wants to beat Oba, that's fine. But he should at least pin Austin Theory. I mean, everybody should beat Austin Theory, but that's just me.
Fair.
Oh my God.
That was wrong.
So did you guys talk about the fact that they're gonna send Roman to Chicago to counter program AEW?
We thought it was we think it's going to be, I think it's going to be Vegas because they got to fill the MGM Grand Garden Arena.
I mean, it might be both.
It could be both.
I think if it's anything, it probably is both. But
I get that Dave was saying Chicago, but I think it might be both.
Yeah, I think both.
He ain't
is an
wrestling,
option.
that's for sure. He ain't wrestling, that's for sure.
Now, I think Punk will definitely appear on the Chicago show because
yes.
It's Punk in Chicago. Dude, Roman, they're going to see the Psycho Circus, and Roman's going to look at him and be like, I can beat all these guys, right? Like, you guys ain't really doing anything. Like, they're actually in, like, a fine storyline with the whodunit thing, and it's actually fairly well done. But Roman's just going to look at these guys and be like, yeah, let me bring in the Usos, let me bring in Jacob, and let's just pin all these clowns. Literal clowns.
Hey, Bloodline versus Psycho Circus? Sign me up.
I've seen worse.
I know, that's actually kind of a banger match. I'm for that.
Roman is just going to sit at ringside, drink in his hand. I'm going to enjoy this.
Oh, I'm real good. I'm jumping around. I apologize. I didn't talk about this because I was not on for the SummerSlam post-show, but hilarity that Tiffany Stratton comes out and they did the stupid little Papa meter for her.
Yes.
And because they're like, oh, it's Tiffany in Minnesota. This is gonna go well. It's like they don't love her in Minnesota like that.
They don't love her anywhere. You have killed
Australia. They love her in Australia. They love her in Australia.
They probably won't pop for her the same now that they did in 2024.
She comes out during this match for her entrance, and you can see her yelling to the camera, "This is my fucking hometown!" And no one's reacting. Nobody can. No, it's just not there. The only people reacting are wearing very clear WWE guest for the day badges, and it's probably her family and friends, and they're sitting on the risers where the hard cam is, and you're just like, oh, good for you, I guess.
Like, Tiffany projects Los Angeles, not Minnesota.
Well, that's because she'd like to be in LA doing movies instead of literally anything in wrestling.
Or Florida. Everybody projects Florida, but
Tell me about it.
It's very funny that, like, they try to do the hometown thing, and, like, it works for Punk in Chicago, and then there's just, like, only 10 other examples where it, like, actually works. Even, Iowa last night with Seth. And Roman's like, I know you guys love Seth, and the crowd's like, do we? Sure, maybe.
We could take him or leave him.
And then they started singing his song and everything, once Roman had to, play Maestro out there. Yeah. But hey, he's like, I know how you feel about that. And even the crowd is like booing. It's like, we love you, Roman. You're the tribal chief. Seth is like, he's here, but he's whatever to us.
Yeah. There's Punk in Chicago. There's Sammy in Montreal.
There's hometown man, hometown anywhere.
Oh, shut up! Mute this man.
There's KO. Literally
Cody has way too many hometowns for me to even reference him.
There's Speedball in Montreal. There's KO in Montreal. There's Sammy.
I'm trying to think of just WWE.
Oh yeah,
there's KO in Montreal.
I'm also trying to think of just United States, because I do think international, Canada is international allegedly.
I think
LA Knight international is a little bit different though.
I think LA got a really good pop when they were in Baltimore, because he's not far. He's in Maryland.
They don't promote him as Baltimore.
Yeah, he's billed as from LA.
Is he billed from LA? But they know he's Maryland. Well, either way, he did his whole Maryland hometown bullshit. But that's a good point. I get it.
Yeah, they don't promote him as Baltimore. Like, they were trying to push Tiffany as Minnesota, even leading up to the event of she wore the purple for the Vikings, and then very funny, Jade also wore the purple. I know it's for Prince, but it's like,
well, Prince is also from Minneapolis.
Yeah, I got it. Like, I understood. It was just very funny. It's like, it's purple Vikings, and then Jade comes out also wearing purple. It's like, she's Prince, not Minnesota, or not Vikings.
There's a difference.
It's two different things.
Oh, there's Orton in St. Louis.
No, they thought they could have an NXT event around that. That didn't really work for them.
They did. But not that many people came out, but they did. They were loud for Orton.
Yeah, they moved venues. It didn't work so well. They downgraded venues.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting
that one. Yeah.
Orton's not a draw, but the St. Louis loves him.
Yeah. I'll give Orton in St. Louis. Yeah, he's not like a draw level, but he does get like bigger reactions in St. Louis. I'll give Orton in St. Louis.
Johnny Gargano in Cleveland. He's got to get up first.
Yeah, has he wrestled in Cleveland recently?
Yeah.
Recently, no, but in general, yes. Who else is there? I'm just going down the list now of the roster. I got nothing.
He said international doesn't count, so I can't say Finn Balor. I would have said Finn Balor, but
yeah, can't do that.
Bianca in Knoxville is a shout.
Yeah. Are you back?
So good.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can now.
We hear you now.
Okay. My lovely wife was calling me, so I'm gonna talk to her because I'd rather talk to her than at least Joel. SV3, you're up there, but Joel, absolutely not. He drags you down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's all right.
You know what you do.
That's fair.
We love you, Jeremy.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for filling in all week. I'm sure I'll pop on tomorrow. You're gonna have to take me off, Joel, because obviously I cannot do that myself.
I got you, pal. I can get you off for now.
All right.
Gonna keep on moving. Gable.
No, that does suck too.
It's my favorite theme song.
Sure. If it's your favorite, then that's your favorite. He's another guy. They were like, hey, he's back, and he won the title. And now they're just like, now what? And the answer is, give him the clap.
They were clapping in Des Moines. They
Barely.
were clapping more in Des Moines than they were in Minneapolis.
Not in Minneapolis, they were doing more because they were also saying skull because they figured out what the fucking thing was for.
No, they were there. I barely heard that. I think they were clapping more in Des Moines.
I heard the skull. It's fine.
Gonna keep on moving, Gable.
Anyway, Chad Gable is the Intercontinental Champion, and he's super proud of that. And then he got challenged by the guys that used to be Intercontinental Champion at one point, and here we are.
Good matchup. Gable and Penta picking up a win against JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio taking another loss. So I'm guessing that JD will probably get a shot at the Intercontinental title soon.
Almost certainly, yes. Yeah. At the next Sunday night's main event in 1 month's time.
Sunday night's main event.
Y'all got to stop saying Gable deserves more. Gable's where he needs to be.
Yeah, what are you talking about? He got the Intercontinental Championship. What the hell?
He is in his ceiling. He is at his peak. He is as good as it gets. He's had a great 2026. He is fine. Could he get a better team?
I don't know what y'all talking about. This team is a bop.
Get the fuck out of my head.
It's a bop, yo. I'm sorry. I don't care what any of y'all say.
1980s dad rock boy.
Hey, I'm a dad, and I like rock.
Sure. 12 years.
Dad rock.
Hey, titles don't mean shit in wrestling, especially when they're participation trophies like the one that Chelsea Green got last night or 2 nights ago. So, it's just the way it is. Oh, you mean more as a theme, not where he's on the card? They've always pegged him as the guy who's from American Alpha. So you get what you get.
I need y'all to stop hating on dad rock. Some dads like rock, so it equals to dad rock. And Chad Gable loves him some dad rock. So like Chad Gable, I'm gonna keep on running, Gable. Mm-mm.
So by the way, the MLW thing, it was just released on Vital Select. The reason wasn't actually because of a booking issue. It was a payment of from 2300 to MLW issue. There was money that is owed, and that's why they broke the agreement. So go ahead, check that out. There's plenty of information about what else is going on in the MLW world over on Vital Select. That just dropped over on Select, so check that out. But yeah, there's your reason for it. I think, that was Raw. That was all there really was to it. Yeah.
I'll take a free ride.
You would.
Highway to the sky. The road is mine to find. I've got to keep on running. Gable. Gable.
It's your moment of
I'm
Monday?
rolling through like thunder, not afraid to leave. I gotta feed my hunger. Freedom's all I need. Yeah, Gable. Gable.
What was your moment of Monday?
I'll take a free ride.
Yeah, that's right.
Highway to the sky. The road is mine to find. I gotta keep on running.
So close. So close.
Oh, okay. I'm good.
You back?
I'm good now, guys.
Was that your moment of Monday after all?
That is my moment of Monday. Gable's theme song, my moment of Monday.
My moment of Monday is the return of Becky Lynch, and it's not just SB3 saying it. It is the entire wrestling world saying it, as they should, because it was a very good return, and she is lovely. So I just hope that they figure out that she needs to explain why she is a babyface now instead of a heel. What did we accomplish today? We did it all.
We just keep on running. That's what we accomplished today.
That's right. We did it all. We talked WWE, we talked TNA, we talked AEW, we talked MLW, we did produce, we talked some notes on produce. We literally continue to give you everything around the world of wrestling because we are that channel. Okay, we are that show. We are the morning show that talks about everything. Tell your friends, tell your family. Don't tell your family; they probably don't like wrestling, but tell whoever you want who likes wrestling, or don't. But do tell them, and then tell them to go check out my interview with Samoa Joe and Stu Stone and Evan Husney. That Dark Side conversation was a lot of fun. We did that yesterday in Toronto, so check it out over on the Joel Pearl Working channel, and also here on Fightful Overbooked on the collab section. SB3, put yourself over before you get on out of here.
Follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSB3. I will be live at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time with Top Guy JJ to review last night's Monday Night Raw. So if you want additional thoughts or the thoughts of JJ on Monday Night Raw or SummerSlam, join us over there. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified, and I'll be back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern.
There is an episode of NXT tonight. We'll do a quick rundown because, again, that's what we do. What is going on NXT tonight? Is there anything fun? Let's find out as I try to find it.
As you try to find it. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to go ahead.
We're going to put something in? Are you going to sing?
I was just going to sing.
The Women's Speed Championships on the line. Ren Sinclair defends against Zarya because for some reason we got to do the two belt gimmick again because Zarya saw that on Sol Ruka and was like, I want that. So Ren Sinclair, Zarya.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think wins?
Ren Sinclair and Zarya. I'm going to take draw.
Oh, 7. They're going to go 5 minutes and then they're going to not tack on another 2 minutes?
No, they'll just call it a draw and Ren Sinclair earns her title shot.
NXT tag titles are on the line. Vanity Project take on Tavian Heights and Miles Bourne. I figure Tavian Heights is going to eat the pin and Miles Bourne is going to beat the shit out of Tavian Heights.
I think Vanity Project wins. Tavian turns on Miles.
Yeah, it's probably that. Jada Parker and Thea Hale take on Carmen Petrovich and Nikita Lyons. Natty will be in the corner of Lyons and Petrovich.
Jada and Thea.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Get to Thea and Natty?
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I agree with you, but it's also like, okay. Keanu Carver, EK Prosper. EK Prosper is going to eke out a win, or is Keanu Carver going to beat the shit out of EK Prosper?
I would hope that Keanu finally beats him.
That's
like, sheesh.
You're asking too much.
Probably.
And finally, in an underground match, the NXT Women's title's on the line. Kendall Gray defends against Lola Vice. Will Kendall Gray become the new queen of the underground?
Kendall Gray wins via tap out, and Lola Vice says farewell to NXT.
Back to AAA, where she doesn't have to defend the title she lost.
There you go.
There you go. Tomorrow, we're back. We'll talk about that NXT show and literally all the news that comes out from all across the wrestling world because it's what we do. So tell your friends. For SP3, you know who I am. You know who he is because I just said his name. Leave a thumbs up on the way out and check out the interview with Mimosa Joe. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.